So yeah, this is a little return to YouTube, been a little while. It's been a busy summer season, so I haven't had as much time to kind of dedicate to YouTube. It's sort of slowing down, I'm getting into the autumn and I'm gonna try and make a bit more time. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a slowish return to YouTube, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Got my phone out for notes just so I can remember kind of what I wanted to say and stuff. But I'm out in Sicily this week to second shoot for my friend Dan for a wedding in Noto. And I've got a few days like either side just to relax and like enjoy the sort of some of the sights. I'm staying in a town called Syracuse, which is in the south of Sicily, and yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I'm kind of like up in the north of the town, and then there's like a beautiful historic island called Ortigia, which I've been wondering about taking photos in. So I've got a few cameras with me for this wedding, and including my absolute favorite camera, which is the Leica Q3. I don't often use the Q3 for weddings anymore. I used to do it a lot, particularly when I was shooting 2 digital cameras, but now since like shooting a lot more film, I tend to just use one digital body with the 28-70 because it sort of covers me for all bases. But because I'm second shooting this wedding, Dan will have all the bases covered with the cameras. He's always got a load on him. So I will just be kind of predominantly focusing on getting wide, establishing street style photos of the wedding. And so yeah, the Q3 works perfectly for that. Dan will probably share some of the photos from the wedding. I'll put his Instagram down below so you can have a look. But I'm just gonna kind of run through some of the pics I've taken with the Q3 whilst I've been out in Syracuse, and just share a bit of my thoughts on the camera. And like, you know, it's a system I've shot now for 3 years. I started with a Q2 in 2022 and upgraded to the Q3 last year. I said at the top of this video, it's one of my favorite cameras, and I think it kind of comes down to a couple of things. One, it comes down to how small it is, and you know, there's plenty of people will say, well, it's not a pocketable camera, you can't put it in your pocket. And I'm like, that's totally fair, but you can sling it around your side or sling it around your neck, and it's still pretty light, and you get professional quality. You're getting 60 megapixels, you're getting a beautiful lens, you're getting beautiful raw fast edit. As someone who enjoys editing a lot, I'm not really looking for like in-camera JPEGs or anything like that. I'm looking for a beautiful file that I can edit, and the stuff that comes out of the Q3 is stunning, in my opinion. For me, 28mm feels very true to life, and I guess that's probably in part due to phone cameras often being sort of 28mm. So maybe we're all kind of used to seeing that in our daily lives, but it also feels very honest to me. I think you can't really hide behind a 28mm or a wide-angle lens. Like the scene is what it is, and I think there's some beauty in that truth, to be honest. And I think that's why I love it for weddings, and particularly if you can get close to people, it kind of has this honesty, like realness, that makes you feel like you're there. I think the Q3 for me is great for holiday or travel snaps. It means that if I'm away and I'm somewhere beautiful and I take a photo, I know that I can use that in a professional context, whether it's licensing on an image licensing site or if it's printing it. I know that it's going to provide me with something that will stand the test of time and also create something beautiful. But I'm not lugging around a huge camera. I'm bringing something small and lightweight, and that I really enjoy using. It allows me to have a great time away on holiday, but also means that I can pick up some amazing photos along the way. The one limiting factor I sometimes find on the Q is the leaf shutter means that it's only got a max shutter speed of 1/2000, which when you're shooting in Italy and it's bright means you are limited with your aperture. But to be honest, when I'm out shooting scenes, I wouldn't want to really be shooting with that anyway. I tend to sort of shoot from like 5.6 up when I'm out in the streets. If I'm in like a shady corner, I'll probably bring that down, or if I'm isolating details, I'll bring that down. Yeah, it's just something to note, like the 1/2000 shutter speed limit can be difficult. And when I owned the Leica Q3 43, we prototype, and there is probably a video coming on that at some point, I found that more limiting because I think at 43mm, and I find that more of a lens that I would shoot people or details or isolate things, and I found the 1/2000 a bit more limiting on that camera, whereas the Q feels like if you're shooting wide, you might be stopping down your aperture and you kind of maybe want more detail in the image. At least that's how I kind of approach things. Hopefully you enjoyed some of these images, and if you have any questions at all, please drop it down in the comments. Apologies, this isn't a particularly fascinating video. I'm sort of just trying to ease my way back into making YouTube videos, and I promise they'll get slightly more interesting and engaging as time goes by. But yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll be sharing a lot more on this channel through the winter. And if there's anything you guys want me to talk about or touch on, please just let me know in the comments, and I'll make a little list of things that I'm going to make some videos about. But yeah, thank you very much, and hope to see you guys again soon. Ciao!